Hello. Yeah. This is fun. First Nobanga. First month at 13. A lot of firsts. Maybe a little bit more. You can adjust me there, Klaus. But today we just had a really nice talk from Jimmy. That was really cool and technical. And this is going to be, just to adjust your expectations, a little bit more about talking about sewers. It's you don't really like to look at this too much, but it's there. And I also would like to say that there's a website involved. It was made with Three.js. I would have loved to see the talk right before doing that. That would have saved me many hours and many lines of code. Okay, so who am I? Johan, new at 13. You might have seen me around. I do a lot of things. I fail at a lot of things as well, but it's part of the process. All around, curious person. Really, I think we might actually just go ahead and go to the backstory of this whole thing. I might have bamboozled you a little bit in the itinerary. It says technical/engineering. This is a little bit more of a war story, but there is no war because a war needs at least two people in conflict. The only people who created conflict here was me, for myself. So I was in a previous life before Teton and a humble agency developer, web agency developer. And one of the things that you do as a web agency developer is you have a lot of clients, preferably 2 digits, because then the agency is getting a lot of recurring payments for maintenance. And one of the unfortunate things you have to do as an agency developer is also to manage the DNS for all of the clients. And let's do a little bit of an audience participation here because that's fun. Hands up, everyone who owns a domain. Okay, about 50-50. And this one is more, this one is optional. How many owns more domains than you're willing to admit? Yes, very good, very good. Same. So the unfortunate things about these customers for these agencies, the agency was very small, the customers was even smaller. So they didn't really have anyone in-house who managed their DNS. And the DNS is the gateway to the internet, basically. It's if you own 1337.com, it needs to be hosted somewhere. In this case, you have the ports group, I think. Yes. So one of the things you have to do as an agency developer, you have to run around, try to find the logins for Lupia, for Binero, now web support. And sometimes there was even more exotic versions around. So I proposed to my boss that how about we just put them under the same umbrella. We host them, and we can manage everything. And then they don't have to spend so much time on us doing the maintenance. And everything will be fine. Will be nice. Yeah. And he said no. Because they were using something called a corporate domain manager. What is that? Like Ports Group, they were using a company called .keeper, who is it's like Lupia. Lupia is very cheap. It's like 100 crowns for a single .se domain for a year. Very nice. They were instead, because it was a corporate thing, you paid maybe 10 times that for each domain, which is very expensive. And of course, I understand. They do a lot of other things. They do IP management, and they do corporate identity things, and it's all very advanced and way beyond my pay grade. But I was thinking, so they pay 10 times more for the same service as basically that Lupia does. And well, inflation is high, rates are high, money is down. How can I get in on that? I mean, it's good for business. If I can do some own domain management, I could save my own costs. I could maybe get someone else to be interested in this, and I could get fat stacks of cash. That's a good idea, yeah? And then I uttered the forbidden words. It can't be that hard. Maybe it was. But I am somewhat experienced in DNS things. So and now I apologize to everyone who's not Swedish talking. This is my only slide, I'm promise. But I had a plan. This is Ocean's 11, but Swedish. So what do we need? We need to build our own web hotel, basically. We need software. We need servers. We need a database. Maybe. Who knows? It's good to have. And then the hard part. We need to talk to the Swedish Ministry of, not ministry, but the .se managers. So as you do when you eat a whale, you do it in small pieces. So we start somewhere. First, we need a name server. That's the name of the talk. Here it is. Really small, I see now. Ah, there's the picture. Bind, 9, 10. Who heard about it before? 1. Wow. 2. Nice. Good start. If you're a bit more feature hungry, you can use something called Power DNS. It's bind, but with extra whistles and bells. That's what we're going to use. And for everyone who's not super duper into the whole DNS thing, this is the internet. Yeah, in theory. DNS is a hierarchical database, basically, where you have a root. It's ICANN, masters of the internet, who they keep track of which top-level domains do we have. .se, .com, .nu, .ninja. And they, in turn, we have subdomains, which is then the .se and .ninja, blah, 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 blah. And then from there, you buy a domain that says like Johan.ninja. That's on the 3rd level. And then you can go all the way down. So when we need to be able to sell .se domains, we need to talk to the IIS, who in their turn, they talk to ICANN. And what happens is that when your browser goes, I want to visit Johan.ninja, first we go to root in a bad case, of course, where none of the caches work. But first you go to ICANN and you ask, where is Johan? He's on the SE or .ninja. And then you ask .se, where is Johan? Oh, well, he's on this domain. Ah, cool, I found Johan. Or in even worse cases, you have a subdomain. It's like Johan.se. Then you go, then you ask yourself, where am I? You're there. So running your own name servers is basically taking charge of some of the web hotel, actually all of the web hotel things you have to do. Good save. I will talk. We can't spend too much time here. It's really interesting, but we have to go on. So we have a software. We have Power DNS. Power DNS needs two things. It needs a zone file, which looks terrible, but it's there. And we also need a server, and this is an iStock clipart server. You all seen it before? A zone file is basically what you enter when you have a web. Oh, yep, very nice, thank you. We're halfway there. The zone file is basically what you have when you use a web hotel. You've seen this before. You can see here, you have some A records, you have some name NS, that's name server. You have an SOA. You don't usually see this one because it's hidden. It stands for Startup Authority. Nice. I always confuse that one. And so on and so on. We have that now. It's a text file. We have a server running on Power DNS. And then we need to do one last step. This is from name.com. Shout out to name.com. Not affiliated. But what they let you do is they actually let you edit your own glue records. Another name, or another term we're not going to come back to, I'm sorry. But what they say basically is that when someone queries your host name, they will, instead of trying to resolve it themselves, they will say, oh, he entered his own address. Use this one instead. Very nice. Usually for Swedish host providers, you have to mail them. And it can take some while before they edit the things because it's a very irregular thing to do. So this is, I was very happily surprised when I saw this. And then we're done. Ship it. This is it. We have a whole web hotel. Done. But it's really awkward to work with. The things we have to do, we have to go into a server. Maybe it's a virtual private server somewhere. We have to edit a text record. We have to restart the server. It's a mess. No one wants to use that. So we can do some nice tunings. We can move the server to a Docker container, maybe. Nice. We can deploy it on AWS, ECS, Elastic Container Service. This is the part where we go broke, by the way, just so you know. And we need at least, and we need two. That's 2 IPs, static, preferably. Otherwise, the service will work for a little while, and then it will not. Ask me how I know this. I think you can guess, yeah. Static IPs cost money. Also, this is part where, as I said, we go broke here. Afterwards, come on. It will get there sometime. There we go. Power DNS is very nice. It has support for multiple backends. Here's the list. Don't read it, okay? This is bad PowerPointing or Google sliding. But we're going to use a Postgres database. It's going to be managed. It's going to be used on AWS again, losing more money now. And that means that since we now have not a text file in the root, we can actually just update the database, because that's now the container of all the records, which is nice. Database queries are easy, right? Maybe. It turns out that the Power DNS records are quite complex. But Power DNS has a great API. It can handle itself. Nice. We can build a very blurry web site. This thing spins with 3S. Yeah. You can visit the domain. It's great. So we have an API to the domain DNS, the Power DNS. We build our snazzy website. We build a great DNS editor. We're good. Where's the money? Oh, come on. All right, it's great. So it turns out that just because you have but what we basically have now is just a DNS server. It's great if you're already registered. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you like that. Basically, you just have a DNS server running. No one wants to really buy into that. You want to handle all of your domain things in one place. That's why you give them money, and even more money if it's like a corporate thing. So we need to get accredited with the IIS. And now we lose even more money. Because, we're running a little bit short on time. If you want to know more about the Internetstiftelsen, they're super persons, living gods among us. Support them in any way you can. There's also supposed to be another picture here. We'll skip it. Let's talk about costs. Because getting allowed to sell .se domains is very expensive. First, you need to apply. 10,000 crowns, 10 bananas. just to be able to maybe be allowed. And then you also, if you do get allowed, you have a yearly membership of 5,000 crowns. And then, and here it's going to be really interesting, they have a fixed cost of registering new domains. 20 crowns straight. That's what you pay. And then you pay 10 crowns per month with a 12-month minimum. That means it costs about 140 crowns to register a .se domain. That's the minimum cost. Have you paid more? You made a good margin. Or actually, if someone else paid more, you made a margin and you made profit. If you paid less, you're losing money. And renewing a domain, 10 crowns per month. 120 months maximum, 12-month minimum. Easy math. They have some discounts going on. If the person registering for a .se domain has a bank ID, you save 10 crowns. That's money in the pocket, right there. Nice. And if 70% of your customers has DNSSEC, I won't even touch this. But it's good. We don't have the time. So you can get some good discounts. But as you can see, the margins are very slim because no one wants to pay more than maybe 100 crowns for a .se domain or a .nu domain. Because that's what you're, that's the cost. If you pay 200 crowns, you're being fleeced. So if you're gonna remember anything from this talk, this is the minimum amount that they can charge you. So if you pay more, keep that in mind. What else do you get for that price? So with that in mind, getting accredited with the IIS, they first do interviews with you to see if you're, well, capable to run a registrar. They will do a security audit. And then you apparently need to be 2 people running the operation. I am not 2 people. I tried to rope my Sambo into it. She was not very excited. So my plan has stopped there. Just so you know. So this whole experiment has been very interesting. It has resulted in a lot of knowledge from my side. In terms of money, we have no money. But what we can see from the figures we saw just recently was that if you want to run a successful web hosting service, you need margins. You need a lot of users because the common man is not really interested in paying a lot for .se domain because they don't really see the benefit of it. Corporate accounts is interested in paying a lot of money for it, which is good. But then you also need to do a lot of selling, and you also need to be able to provide a lot of more services because running the web hotel is just It's just a loss leader. It's nice, but what you really want is all the extra things. The corporate domain managers, they have lawyers on staff ready to help you, and they are experts in all the fields that they touch. I'm just a guy who wants to make a quick buck. I have not. If this was easy, someone else would have done it already. That was all from me. So that's a no, by the way.
I was going to ask. I was like, are you coming back to this one?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Johan. Very entertaining. Love your engagement. So I'm going to pass it over to the audience. Do we have any questions for Johan?
Just curious about what else the IIS evaluated when they talked to you. Like security, yes, but do they care about your performance, for example? You put your stuff in
Super
AWS?
good question. Yes, they do care about performance a lot, because I didn't even touch it. But when you're running your domain server, name servers, the reason to why I did it on the AWS is because first and foremost, they have a really good record of uptime, except when it's down, of course. But otherwise, it's really good. So you can point to AWS and say, this is very performant. And they will say, yes, it is. And it's also easy to scale, because another thing that they very much care about is that you need to have at least 2 servers running at all times, because otherwise you don't have redundancy. And that is very, very bad. So IIS is very concerned about it.
Like, not to go all remember the 90s, but why not just have your customers use subdomains? That would save you a lot of money.
Oh yeah, but then they will go like, why am I IKEA hosted at ikea.johan.se?
I mean, considering the amount of businesses who still have @telia.com email addresses.
Very good point. If I had a sexy domain, maybe, like x.com, that would be great. I don't. I hardly even have my own surname. But yeah, it would be really good.
You're talking to this. Oh, there we go. I want to know more about that conversation with your Sambu, trying to rope her into the...
My Sambu has very high tolerance for bullshit, which is good. When I was doing the, I can show you.
And why do you have to be like 2 or more?
Security, redundancy. Same with the servers. You need 2 servers. You need 2 people. It's double keys, double security, double everything. Now it's really hard to see, but this thing, it spins. Yeah, nice.
Ooh.
I was not popular with my Sambu, because she's a previous 3D graphics artist, and I was running during the vacation, I might add, to her, going, so how do you do this? What is that? What the hell is a vector? And she had to try to explain it to my smooth brain front-end guy, me. Word, good. So yeah, I'm very happy I have my Sambu. She's very nice. She puts up with a lot of bullshit.
Oh, question over here.
Sorry, I can't promise a question. I just wanted to say that, first of all, I've been looking forward to your summary for a long time, because I think it's a really cool topic. The other thing I really appreciate is that you brought up a story that tells us about, it's like chasing the golden goose and then realizing there is none and then killing it off.
Yeah.
And
no, it's actually still losing me money.
But that's okay, because my second point is, thank you for sharing something where you go, I learned a lot, but there's no happy ever after.
No.
So thank you.
Okay, let's give him one more round of applause. Thank you so much, Johan. Great job.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.